Hello everyone, a very good morning. Welcome to the next session in health and wellness. So today we will be talking about nutrition and diet. So coming to the contents of the study. First we will be seeing about the introduction, definition of diet, food and nutrition, about what is balanced diet, components of food and their deficiency diseases, functions of food, nutrient values of food, food pyramid, importance of diet during different stages of life. Coming to the introduction. Food Oxford Dental Dictionary says that any substance which when taken into the body or an organ may be used either to supply energy or build a tissue. WHO, the World Health Organization, says that nutrition is the science of food and its relationship to health. It is concerned primarily with the part played by the nutrient in body growth, development, and maintenance. Coming to the balanced diet. A balanced diet is defined as one which contains a variety of foods in such quantities and proportions that the need for energy for the amino acids, vitamins, minerals, fats, carbohydrates and the other nutrients is adequately met for maintaining health, vitality and the general well-being, and also makes a small provision for extra nutrients to withstand short duration of leanness. Said by Park, a balanced diet has become an accepted means to safeguard a population from nutritional deficiencies. In constructing balanced diet, following principles has to be followed. First is daily requirement of protein. So protein is a very important nutrient. This amounts to about 15 to 20% of daily energy intake. Then comes the fat. The fat requirement. It should be limited to 20 to 30% of daily energy intake. Third is the carbohydrates, which are rich in natural fibers. It should constitute remaining the energy intake. And the requirements of micronutrients should also be met when having a diet. Coming to the nutrients. Nutrients are the organic and the inorganic complexes that are contained in the food. There are about 50 different nutrients which are normally supplied through the foods we eat. Each nutrient has specific function in the body. Most natural foods contain more than one nutrient. So this may be divided into, first is the macronutrient, the second one is the micronutrient. Talking about the macronutrients, these are the proteins, fats, carbohydrates which are often called proximate principles because they form the main bulk of the food. In the Indian dietary practices, they contribute to the total energy intake in the following proportions. That is, protein from 7 to 15%, fats from 10 to 30%, carbohydrates 65 to 80%. Coming to the micronutrients, these are vitamins and the minerals. They are called micronutrients because they are required in small amounts which may vary from a fraction of a milligram to several grams. Talking about the proteins. So, what is a protein? It is a complex organic nitrogenous compounds which compose of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen and sulfur in varying amounts. Some proteins also contain iron and phosphorus. Proteins are made up of smaller units called the amino acids. So basically there are 24 amino acids, of which 9 are essential among the amino acid and the remaining are non-essential amino acids. Proteins, they are classified onto three types. One is simple, one is conjugated and derived sources. The animal sources are milk, meat, eggs, cheese and fish. The vegetable sources are pulses, cereals, beans, nuts, oil seeds. Coming to the functions of protein. So what does a protein does? It helps mainly in bodybuilding, repair and maintenance of body tissues, synthesis of certain substances like antibodies, plasma proteins, hemoglobins, enzymes, hormones and the coagulation factors. The proteins are connected with the immune mechanism. So, how do you assess the protein nutritional status? The best measure of the state of protein nutrition is probably the serum albumin concentration. It should be more than 3.5 gram per deciliter. A level of 3.5 gram per deciliter is considered a mild degree of malnutrition. A level of 3 grams per deciliter is considered a severe malnutrition. So, these are the normal protein requirements for the different ages and the different stages of life. Recommended daily intake grams per day. For a reference man, it should be 60 grams per day. For a reference women, it should be 50 grams per day. For a pregnant woman, it should be 65 grams per day. And for a lactating woman, it should be 75 grams a day. 5 to 12-year children should have 30 grams per day. Adolescent boys should have 65 grams per day. And the adolescent girl should have 60 grams per day. Protein, energy, malnutrition. So, when there is a lack of protein, what happens? It occurs primarily in the weaklings and first few years of life. The clinical forms, marasmus and kwashiorkor is a very common disease of malnutrition of protein. So, this is due to the inadequate intake of food both in quantity and quality. Infections like diarrhea, measles, respiratory infection and intestinal worms during the growth of an infant or a small child. It is vicious circle of infection leading to malnutrition and malnutrition leading to repeated infections, both acting synergistically. Synergistically is nothing but it's coinciding or going parallel to each other. Other contributory factors include poor environment conditions, poor sanitation, poor maternal health, failure of lactation, unhealthy diet. So the first indicator of PEM is underweight. Phenylketonuria and nutritional liver disease are often the effects of protein malnutrition for a PEM child. Next, coming to the fats and oils. Fats are solid at 20 degrees Celsius. They are called oils if they are liquid at that temperature. Okay. Fats and oils are a sources of energy. So, they are basically divided into three types. One is simple lipids, triglycerides. Second one is compound lipids, phospholipids. Third is derived lipids, cholesterol. The fat yields fatty acids and glycerol on hydrolysis. Fatty acids are divided into 1. Saturated fatty acids such as lauric, palmitic and stearic acids. The unsaturated fatty acids such as further divided into monosaturated fatty acid, that is the oleic acid, and the polyunsaturated fatty acid, that is called the linoleic acid. The polyunsaturated fatty acids are found in vegetable oils and saturated fatty acids are found in animal fats. The coconut oil and the palm oil contain saturated fatty acids. What are the sources of animal fats? Okay, so the sources of fat: ghee, butter, milk, cheese, egg, meat, fish. What are the vegetable fats? Groundnut, mustard, sesame, coconut, and others includes the cereals, pulses, nuts, and the vegetables. So what are the main functions of the protein? They provide energy, that is 9 kilocalories every gram. Fats serve as a vehicle for fat-soluble vitamins. Fats support the viscera such as kidney, heart, and the intestine. They act as a thermal insulators for the skin. Essential fatty acids are required for body growth and the structural integrity. Coming to the fat requirements. How much fat do you need? The Indian Council of Medical Research has recommended a daily intake of not more than 20% of total energy intake through fats. Coming to fats and diseases. First is the obesity. Obesity commonly everybody knows. Phrenoderma, that is, the deficiency of essential fatty acids in diet is associated with rough and dry skin, that is a toad skin. What and other related diseases are the heart related disorders. Vitamins. They fall into the category of micronutrients. Vitamins do not yield energy but enable the body to use other nutrients. So basically vitamins are divided into two groups. One is fat soluble and another one is water soluble. So the fat soluble vitamins are A, D, E and K, whereas the water soluble vitamins are B and C. So these are some of the vitamins: A, B1, B2, B, B6, B12, C, D, E and K. So as vitamin A is a fat soluble, it is rich in egg, butter, papaya, carrot, milk, liver and cabbage. Vitamin B1. It is rich in peas, meat, potato, soya beans, milk and whole grain cereals. Coming to vitamin B. They are mostly seen in the green vegetables, custard apple, meat, cheese, soya beans and milk. Coming to vitamin B. Vitamin B, tomato, potato, peanut, banana and the vegetables. Coming to vitamin B6, it is rich in dry fruits and nuts, peas, pulses, fish, meat and milk. Coming to vitamin B12, egg, meat, liver, cheese and milk. So talking about vitamin C, it is a water soluble and is rich in guava, tomato, orange, lemon, grapes. Coming to vitamin D, it is rich in egg, cod liver oil, milk, fish and sunlight. Coming to vitamin E, it is rich in banana, green vegetables, soya beans, egg, almond, wheat gram oil. And vitamin K is again rich in tomato, soya beans, spinach, meat, turnip and lettuce. Coming to minerals. Mineral classification. So the major minerals: calcium, phosphorus, sodium, potassium, magnesium. These are in the trace elements. These are the elements required by the body in quantities less than a few milligrams per day. For example, iron, iodine, fluorine, molybdenum, selenium, nickel, tin, silicon, chromium and copper. Again, trace elements with no known function such as lead, mercury and albumin. Assessment of nutritional status. So, how do you assess the methods by nutritional status includes the clinical examination, by anthropometry measures, that is checking the height, weight, BMI, by doing the biochemical evaluation, functional assessment, assessment of dietary intake, vital and health statistics and ecological studies. Coming to the food pyramid. So, the least one is the suggested food that we should have. For example, the least, that is the bottom of the pyramid, contains 10 to 15 portions, 30 gram per protein. It consists of fully proteins which has cereals and millets. And the next step is the fruits and the vegetables, in which there is 100 gram of portion. Okay, so each has fruits and vegetables. The next comes the pulses in the dairy, and last is the fats and the sugar. Importance of diet during different stages of life. So, nutrient dense, low fat foods for being physically active and healthy. Nutritionally adequate diet with extra food or child bearing or rearing for maintaining health, productivity and prevention of diet related disease and to support pregnancy or lactation. Bodybuilding and protective foods for growth spurt, maturation and bone development, energy, bodybuilding and protective food such as milk, vegetables and fruits. For growth, development and to fight infections. So breast milk, which is rich in energy foods, that is fats and sugar, for growth and appropriate milestones. Coming to the conclusion, food intake is essential for sustenance of life. The main purpose of the food is the provision of adequate nutrition to carry out the daily activities of life. With so many varieties of food types available, it is essential to know the basics of diet and nutrition so as to obtain the benefits of all. Thank you so much.